One application of multiplication is the area of a rectangle. And so the area of a rectangle uses a formula that is length times width, but it's important to understand why these things work. So if we're finding the area of a rectangular figure that is 4 inches by 3 inches, essentially when they're asking us to find the area, they're saying how many little inch by inch squares would fit into that figure. So I apologize, these are not squares, bear with me. This way I would have 4 broken into 4 parts, and this way I'd break them into 3 parts. And so as you can see, if I counted this up, I would end up with 12 squares. Now instead of counting, which seems kind of ridiculous, we're going to use the formula length times width. And so I would take the length of 3 times the width of 4, or vice versa. It honestly doesn't matter which is length and width. And I would end up with 12. Now when we label a solution for area, we're labeling it with square inches. So that would be inches, and we would put the little squared on there. Now why do we do it that way? Because each of these is an inch by inch square, and so it's 12 square inches. So here's one for us to try. Again, I did not draw all the little lines in because that was a lot of little lines, but instead of counting all of those values, I'm just going to multiply. So to find the area, I'm going to take 15 times 9. Again, I can multiply it in this way. 9 times 5 is 45, and carry the 4. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 4 is 13. And so my answer is 135. And so my area would be 135 square inches. Go ahead and try this one on your own, then press play to see how you did. So this question has to do with Iowa, which is a neighboring state to Nebraska, of course. And we're going to, in this case, actually estimate or approximate the area of Iowa. So we're multiplying, but we're also estimating. The width of Iowa is 310 miles, according to dimensionsinfo.com, and the length is 199. And we're going to round those dimensions to the nearest hundreds and then multiply. So instead of finding the exact answer, we're going to estimate the area of Iowa. So 310 rounded to the nearest hundred would be 300. I'm going to multiply that by 199 rounded to the nearest hundred, which is 200. Again, when you're multiplying with rounded values, essentially I'm just taking 3 times 2 to get 6, and then I've got 4 zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So my answer is 60,000. Now, again, I need to label my solution, and so I would label that as 60,000 square miles. Again, this is an approximation. It's also a story problem. So my sentence would say the approximate area of Iowa is 60,000 square miles.